Hello and welcome back to the Practice Squad. I'm Jordan LaRoche, one of the co-hosts. To my left is Henry Standage. Before I bring him up, I just want to give a shout out to our hosts here at the Bottom Line, 22 Front Street. If you're going to a Leafs game, a Raptors game, checking out the Hockey Hall of Fame, this is a great spot to be. The classiest sports bar in Toronto, and of course our friends at Miller Lite, the official beer of the NFL in the U.S. Grab a case of Miller Lites from your local LSBO or beer store. And also $5 Miller Lites during Monday and Thursday Night Football here at the Bottom Line. But without further ado, Henry, how have you been? It's been a little bit. We missed last week.
Yeah, we took a bye week.
Yeah. Unfortunate reasons, but how have you been? It's been a little bit.
It's good. I've got like a big audio series coming out soon, so
Nice.
just in like the final stages of that, but like lots of exciting stuff like artwork coming in soon, and that's always like one of my favorite parts is just like all the supplemental stuff coming in. We
Yeah.
have a great artwork for this show as well.
Yeah,
let me say.
a little freelancer off Fiverr to get the job done, but no, that's really cool to see. I mean, plug it. What's it called?
It's going to be called Painting the Pitch Red. So it's about the history of Canadian soccer. So World Cup next week, which is crazy. Super weird that's in the winter. But yeah, we got like Sid Seixeiro, Christian Jack, Craig Forrest, some other guys on it. So hopefully that can go well.
Sorry, when does it come out again?
We think we're going to drop, there's 3 chapters, 1 chapter every Canadian match day.
Okay, nice. That'd
So
be cool.
3 group stage games. So yeah. Lots of work with that right now. But yeah, how was your weekend?
Good. I've just been taking it easy, honestly. For those who don't know, I took a puck to the head last week. Was dealing with
There was a shot?
came with OHL level shot just straight to the dome. Didn't feel great, but I have a long history with concussions, and I took care of myself all weekend, just to get ready for back to work this week. But what do you want to do first? You want to do last week's recap, or
Let's do last week's recap first.
you want to lead this off?
Sure. Well, we always start with the Miller Lite Game of the Week, but I think this week we should call it the Miller Lite Game of the Year
Yep.
because Vikings-Bills, and just an incredible game. I was really into this one because the Jets were on bye. We have the Bills on head-to-head, which I didn't expect to be a sentence, I would say. And it was kind of like the Jets and Dolphins fans were just united with the Vikings fans, and it was such a good game that I saw something that when the Vikings got to the 1-yard line, their odds of winning the game were like 80%. When Kirk doesn't get in, their odds drop to 2%. Bills fumble in the end zone, and Vikings go back up to 90%. And that's not even counting things like the Justin Jefferson catch.
Yeah.
Allen throwing, I think, 3 red zone turnovers.
I think so. I think it was 3. Yeah.
So just like crazy game in Buffalo.
I was supposed to go to the game.
I forgot about that.
I had tickets to the game. But obviously, with a concussion, I didn't end up going. But, I mean, it kind of begs the question about Minnesota now. I mean, they've had a good year. They haven't really beaten anyone of significant until probably this week, really. What do you think we can expect from them? Because I think after that game, they're looking like a pretty solid playoff team.
Well, yeah, now they're tied for the lead in the NFC with the Eagles lost to. Now the Eagles have them on head-to-head, but the Vikings, I remember 2 weeks ago really take notice of me like, oh my God, the Vikings are 6-1?
Yeah.
Like, where did that come? Because they've just been flying under the radar, beating like crappy teams. But yeah, you went in Buffalo. Obviously, the Bills are dealing with some stuff at the moment, injuries in the secondary, injuries to Allen. But yeah, definitely a statement win for them. And I think, they might have to be the clear number 2 team in the NFC right now.
I'm with you there. A lot of people were kind of questioning Allen's decision to play, but for the most part, he looked okay. But I mean, you have to give full credit to Justin Jefferson. A career game for him, 193 yards on 10 receptions. A couple of really big plays. He had the catch on the 4th and 18, I think it was, in the 4th quarter. Had the touchdown drive at the end as well. He's a guy who, like, obviously we knew coming into this year was going to have a big year, but this game really, really, really puts him on the map and maybe just solidifies himself as a potential top 5 receiver, top 3 receiver in the NFL.
Oh, definitely top 3. And also, I was just going to mention, I think we all overrated the Naheem Hines addition because he hasn't done anything in like
they haven't really been using him, though. I mean,
they just still use the rookie Cook.
Yeah, and even when they had Zach Moss as receiving back, they didn't even really use him. So it's going to be a Singletary James Cook show.
Next one, Jake Paul. I can't believe I'm enjoying this as much as I am award. For Lions Bears. Should mention Jake Paul did actually fight recently, and once again it was surprisingly entertaining. So I have Lions Bears. You do too?
Yeah.
I'm actually making a rule. This is the last time the Bears are allowed to win this category.
I think
because
so.
They've been probably one like a top 3 most exciting team in the league over the past month.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because everyone's ogling over the Justin Fields highlights. It was only like late Sunday, I was like, oh yeah, the Bears lost. Because Bears fans don't care. NFL fans are like, holy cow, it's like watching Lamar's breakout season again.
Yeah.
And then, the Lions, have a tendency to play these sorts of games. They usually lose them, but, I mean, Fields is essentially carrying the Bears to this award.
Yeah, I think for the Bears coming into this year, obviously pretty low expectations, but I think they really just wanted to see Justin Fields have a good year or put together some good games. And this last month, he's just been balling out, and 314 total yards, 4 touchdowns against the Lions the other day is remarkable. But actually, while we're on the topic, he had bringing some records of his own as well. Most rushing yards by a quarterback in the Super Bowl era over 5 games. Only quarterback in the Super Bowl era with multiple rushing TDs of over 60 yards. 2 longest TD runs by a quarterback in Bears history. Only NFL player to have 2 pass TDs, 2 rush TDs, and 100-plus rushing in a game. And leads the NFL in rushing yards and tied for the lead in rushing TDs with 6. So I didn't expect him to do this year. I mean, I'm really blown away by him.
I think he was like 21st in fantasy a month ago, and now he's like 3rd. So pretty incredible.
And the Lions in their own right.
Finally, Amon-Ra got going again.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big part for them moving forward. Ends their 13-game road losing streak, the longest in NFL history. Haven't won back-to-back in 35 games either. So, for the Lions coming out of this, some good lessons to take. But the running game is a bit of a mess right now with Swift not really getting many touches.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about Fields. I don't think we have to spend too long on this one. Okay, what did you have for
Shakespeare
the
Love?
most boring game of the week, the Shakespeare in Love Award?
I had the Falcons and the Panthers, another baked Thursday nighter, half-baked Thursday nighter. And you kind of just feel bad for P.J. Walker, who just can't seem to stay healthy, because Baker Mayfield's going to be going in next week. But the Panthers, who did win the game, went up against the second worst passing defense in the NFL, in the Atlanta Falcons, but ran the ball 17 of their first 23 plays, with Ramondre Stevenson, who had, I think, 130 yards that game. That's a team that, obviously not going to do much this year, but the fact that you have some young guys kind of putting together some solid games means good things for the future. So I don't think you really can take away too much from that game, though.
No, I was surprised that I think it was the Falcons' first primetime game of the year, and the Falcons had played pretty well consistently this year, and they kind of lost all their stock with that performance. It was pretty ugly.
Mariota was pretty bad. He had that one throw from his back.
Yeah. So we're going to see some calls for Ritter if he doesn't play better this week. I had Broncos Titans. I thought we might align 3 for 3 here. I'm not going to lie. I watched, the extended highlight packs of all these games. I don't actually remember taking any of this game live on. It doesn't feel like it was on Red Zone much at all. Nothing. I mean, 17-10 classic Broncos game. Defense holds a team to under 20. They lose.
Classic Titans game, too, honestly.
Yeah, Derrick Henry didn't even have a good game. It was just one of those forgettable games that the Titans are really good at winning. The Titans always win like 4 or 5 of these games that you can never remember at the end of the season. And then that's the nail in the coffin for the Broncos now.
You think so?
Yeah, 3-6.
Yeah. Just really disappointing to kind of see that. But you figured they make some kind of change mid-year, the Broncos, but or a significant change, which they haven't really done. So I think that they might just be calling it in.
Yeah. Figure it out in the offseason.
Yeah. And then for my shooting themselves in the foot award,
Plexico
Burress. I had the Raiders and the Colts. I had Dallas Green Bay.
Wow.
Dallas Green Bay as a runner-up. Dallas showed that 28-14 lead in the fourth. But my reasoning for this, Jeff Saturday was hired 6 days ago, or 6 days before the game. And it was scrutinized by just about everyone in the NFL media, everyone in the league. And they didn't even know who their starting quarterback was going to be. Sam Ehlinger was potentially going to be a starter. Erlinger. That's my bad.
It's okay. It's the weirdest sounding name.
It is. But they ended up going with Matt Ryan, which again it affects the game planning. It affects how just your mental is going into the game. And the Raiders just go out and put out absolute egg. That was a game that they could have won 100% with a fresh head coach, trying to implement a new system. And it's just another step in the Raiders who just can't seem to put together a competent team or just play a consistent game even.
So I had this from my Sammy Paradise game that ruined the most teasers, parlays, money lines because
70% of the money.
Because the Jeff Saturday hire, and then that line was only at 4.5. It was like, oh, the vibes are terrible. Erlinger looks terrible. Didn't know Ryan was going to play. Yeah. And so I hit this Raiders spread. I was like, look, at least they're, a team with some consistency. The Colts are a mess right now. And Jeff Saturday came in and inspired the troops, and Matt Ryan played pretty well. So I think a lot of people got hit pretty hard by that game this weekend.
Yeah. And I mean, I did a little reading last night. I think I sent you the article last night. Just kind of a deep dive into the Raiders draft history and their inability to really be able to put a supporting cast around Derek Carr, who has had some good years. I mean, you look at their last few draft classes, the 2020 draft class is all gone. Cleveland Farrell is a top 5 pick in 2019, bust. Jonathan Abram, bust. And then his receivers, the number one receiver for the Raiders over the last few years, you got Renfro, Aguilar, Tyrell Williams, and then Jordy Nelson in his final season, because they traded away Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree before that. Derek Carr, when he's had a good team around him and when they ran the ball well, he's been an MVP finalist. He's taking them to the playoffs, but it's year after year, because one year they'll make the playoffs, the next year they'll be a bottom team in the league. They've really struggled to find that, and I just feel bad for Derek Carr, honestly.
Yeah, and although I lost money on this game, I wasn't devastated to see the Colts win. I thought the backlash to the Saturday hire, while funny in some ways, was a little intense.
It was.
Where there was racism cards being called. Right. I mean, the Colts have had tons of African American coaches of the year. I can at least think of 2, Tony Dungy and Jim Caldwell. And I was just I don't know, maybe we should see, it is weird he got it with no experience, but I don't actually really know, what head coaches do if they're, they've coordinators to scheme. Obviously, something like Belichick's very involved in the scheme.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Saturday came in, probably gave a great locker room speech, and I just thought everyone was just pouring it on the Colts this week, and I was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't love that, because I think, especially with head coaches and sometimes general managers, it becomes a bit of an old boys club where it's recycled coaches. You're not getting any new blood into the league. So bring a guy like Jeff Saturday just to change something up. Maybe he gives you a different perspective. I think it's just good for the Colts. It's good for the NFL.
A lot of NFL nerds on Twitter and stuff just think they're so much smarter than everyone else too. And this was kind of just a fun one to see them have to kind of take a seat. Yeah. Okay. What was your?
Did you do?
Right. So shooting themselves in the foot. The Eagles.
Yeah, that's my I'm ruined.
Okay, yeah. Okay, makes sense. We just switched there.
Yeah.
The Eagles at home to Washington, and A.J. Brown had a drop that directly resulted in a pick. Obviously, the play at the end of the game, which, yes, does the neutral fan want that to be called? No. Yeah. You'd like to see the Eagles get the ball the minute left at home to try to drive and win it. But also, it was a pretty stupid play. It was a real perfect example of, I believe it was Graham on the Eagles who did it.
Yeah, it was, Brandon Graham and someone else.
Brandon Graham, and he does come in late, and he didn't need to. So, yeah, it was pretty soft, but pretty much the definition of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, and I actually, Taylor Heineke did an interview with someone, I think it was Pat McAfee, where he talked about that play, and he said the head coach told Taylor that essentially look for Gibson. If he's not open, take a knee. So obviously Gibson wasn't open. He goes down to take the knee, and he looks up. He saw Brandon Graham coming towards him before he took the knee. I'm sorry. And actually, that's when he started the motion and actually kind of braced himself for that hit. So
I think Graham had time to stop.
Yeah, he did. I think he did too, and I think Taylor Heineke also did a good job of recognizing that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, another great week for Taylor Heineke, who's just an electric factory.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he has to be the starter over Carson Wentz now.
Oh yeah, he's galvanized that team for sure.
Yeah, and it just makes some big plays. My only concern is the consistency, because we know he can win at big games. He won a couple big games last year and the year before. It's just his floor is very, very, very low.
Yeah, he had a terrible pick in this game, and I like him too, but he had McLaurin like pretty open. If he just threw a laser, he just threw the worst floater, I think, in the third quarter.
Yeah. But on the Eagles, obviously they're missing Jordan Davis on the D-line.
Right. They signed Linval Joseph today.
Yeah, to kind of answer that. But without Jordan Davis in the lineup, the Eagles are allowing 3 yards per carry more than with him in. And we saw that last night where the Commanders, Brian Robinson had a good running game. Antonio Gibson had some good yardage as well.
Yeah. Brian Robinson had his best game of the year.
Yeah. He was shocked in the offseason?
Yeah. The commentators like to let us know. Though, you look at the Commanders' cast of weapons, and it's not bad. Like Gibson and Robinson's pretty nice 1-2 punch. I honestly have always thought Curtis Samuel's good.
Yeah.
You have McLaurin, obviously. Dotson's healthy again.
Yeah, I mean, that team can be good. And I think if Taylor Heineke just put together some more games like this, even, it doesn't need to be incredible.
Yeah.
They can win some more games.
Yeah.
And they're 5-5 right now.
The games this week were like very good fits for all our awards, I thought. Every single selection made a ton of sense this week. So...
Yeah, okay. It was a great week of football overall.
It was. There was a couple games that could have won Miller Lite Game of the Week other weeks. So Packers, Cowboys comes to mind. And what was the other one?
I'm drawing a blank too.
I think I was thinking of the Commanders-Eagles game because it was a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like an 11-point game. It really wasn't. There's a lateral that goes for a touchdown at the end. But.
Yeah, and even the Germany game, Tampa Bay and Seattle, that was a decent game. And
it was better.
Tom Brady had the worst route run I've ever seen.
Yeah. What an insane play to run. Okay, let's take a quick break and then... All right, and now's the part of the show where we look ahead to next week, look at the lines, look at the totals, talk a little bit about each game, and we'll start with Thursday Night Football, Titans-Packers. And this is a 3-point spread for Green Bay, in Green Bay. And this, to me, is the type of game where I love Tennessee.
Me too.
A 3-point spread on the road, a 2.5, Packers. Maybe they figured something out versus the Cowboys, but... I just have a lot of faith in Mike Vrabel to make this a tight game. I get 3. I'm okay with it's also plus 100 for plus 3. So
yeah,
I really like the Titans here.
Yeah, if the Tennessee defense can keep Green Bay to 21 sub or less points, I think Tennessee wins that game 8 times out of 10 because and especially now with the weather, I think Derrick Henry's going to have might have better numbers moving forward, just the cold weather, but. This game's in Green Bay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Green Bay.
Yeah, maybe I rethink that. It might be too cold. But actually, I think
Packers have struggled against the run a bit this year, though, and Titans plus 145 on the money line. I'd also look at, but I love that plus 3 for plus 100.
I think it's this game where Green Bay is supposed to get dumped with snow,
right
on Thursday.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, it just makes the hits hurt more.
Yeah, and I like Derrick Henry to just break a defense down. Nice little 17-14 game.
Yeah.
We'll see if Christian Watson's legit.
Yeah, he had a big week, so
He had a huge week.
the Bears and the Falcons. This isn't going to be the I can't believe I'm watching and enjoying award.
No, Bears are eliminated forever. Get minus 3.5 for Atlanta in Atlanta.
I think I'm going to the Bears here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bears plus 3.5 for sure.
Yeah, and
Falcons can't defend the run. I believe they're the worst defense in the league against the run.
and they're the second worst against the pass. So I think the Bears kind of do have their way here. I think Justin Fields is another big game, especially with them being the underdog. I'm probably hammering it.
That's two tasty games to start.
Yeah.
I really like both underdogs. Panthers at Baltimore. Baltimore favored by 12 at home. I kind of like over 41.
I like that. Yeah. Carolina
and-
could put some points.
And I think Ravens probably win this game by 10 or more, so maybe put that down to minus 9.5 and minus 165.
Yeah, that's not bad. But yeah, no, I think I like that over. And plus 12, maybe.
Plus, 12 is a really weird line.
Yeah.
Or even if you're feeling it, put the Panthers up to like plus 16.5 of minus 200 or something. I just don't like a 12 line. It's weird. I don't know how to like think about it.
Yeah.
Football games are never decided by 12 points. So
No, but that's what Spenny does. He just puts makes a massive parlay of spreads that are like 16 to 18 points for the underdog. So he just cashes in every time.
okay, so what does like enough that he gets like plus 200?
Yeah, and then puts down like $10 or like
Sure.
$20.
Okay, so just avoid blowouts.
Yeah,
It's no way to live.
it's safe.
Browns at Bills. Buffalo favored by 7.5 at home. This is a crazy weather game as well. I
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
So the over under is 41, but
Even then, you probably take that under too.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Cleveland will be able to handle that or run the ball that well, but I don't know.
Kind of like Browns plus 7.5. I don't want to overreact to the Bills having 2 bad weeks, but if it's going to be a game on the ground, obviously the Browns are built for that.
Yeah, and I'd watch the news around Josh Allen in the coming days just to see if he's going to play, how he's feeling after last week. Because I don't think he practiced much at all last week.
Yeah.
I think he's been out this
He
week.
really
though.
wasn't expected to play.
No.
I was surprised. But what happens if in the first quarter Myles Garrett comes, hits him, strips him, hits his elbow? Like, I just don't want to be stuck with the Bills over a touchdown in cold weather with a bummy Allen.
And it's ligaments, right? And that's the injury he has.
It's
an
like an elbow ligament. It seems like something unideal for a quarterback.
Yeah, especially in cold weather, all that stuff tightens up. I think there's a good chance Josh Allen doesn't play next week.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Cold weather, tighten up. It's true. Commanders at Houston. Commanders favored by 3 in Houston. I mean, they want you to take Commanders.
Yeah,
it's plus. It's minus 120. Okay, Texans are plus 100.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take the Commanders here. I ride with the hot hand. Taylor Heineke's going to be back at quarterback. If he could just play a decent game, they can beat Houston.
Yeah, I think you have to take Commanders. It seems weird not to. I'm just like a little bit spooked by it. I thought the line would be like 4.5 here.
Yeah, maybe.
It just has a look of a trap game.
But I'd probably take that under. I mean, Heineke hasn't scored a ton of points. He never really has.
Yeah.
And it's Houston.
Yeah, even minus 165 Commanders. If I'm laying minus 3 at minus 120, might just take the money line.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, Commanders, you want to get to over 500? Huge opportunity.
Yeah, it's a good chance for them. And
Chase Young, there's some rumors he might play.
that's huge.
Yeah.
If they get him back, especially against the Texans, weak O line.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be problematic for them.
Yeah.
Eagles and the Colts in Indianapolis. The Colts are plus 6.5 underdog, plus 240 money line.
Good luck.
Yeah, you probably go back to the Eagles, right?
I guess. I'm definitely not taking the Colts under a touchdown.
No.
Yeah, I just don't like this line. I think I would move Eagles to 2.5 or Colts to like 10.5. I just like, it's just tough to get a read. The Raiders might be the worst team in the league. So,
I don't know if I go that far.
Okay, well, they have the second worst record. I guess Houston's the worst team in the league, but the Raiders have an argument basically for anyone else.
Poorly coached.
Poorly coached, yeah, for sure. Eagles, probably a nice little kick in the butt.
Yeah, a little bit of a wake-up call for them. And actually, A.J. Brown had some good comments after the game.
He was like psyched.
Yeah.
He's pumped up that they lost.
And I think rightfully so. You lose that pressure of having an undefeated season where you're kind of just waiting like, oh, is this the week? Is this the week? Is this the week? That's just not a great feeling. That way you just go out, play football, just not have to worry about it.
Yeah, and honestly, my roommates would be like, so you think the Eagles can go undefeated? I'm like, okay, we're not even at the halfway mark. Like 8 games is not even the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Like I was just not into it at all. Although they did have a pretty like lenient, easy schedule the rest of the way.
Yeah, but
yeah, I'm probably moving that down to Eagles -2.5 and feeling pretty good about it.
yeah, that's probably what I do.
Or even -3, -215, done.
-2, yeah. That's good. But yeah, again, for the most part, looking at the lines the way they are right now, it's probably stay away.
Yeah,
for me.
kind of like the over as well.
Really?
Colts get to 20 points. Eagles fired up. They put up like 30.
Maybe.
All right, let's go. What a game.
Oh.
What a game.
The Jets and the Patriots. The Patriots are a -3. Jets are a +150 in the money line. Over's 38.
That's a really low over-under. I guess the last game these teams played was a total of 39. So
Yeah.
San Diego is like, it's a little colder now in Foxborough. We'll just make the total 1 point less. Man, I really want to take that Jets money line.
Yeah, my concern's a running game right now for the Jets with Breece Hall out. But
Hey, James Robinson and Michael Carter is an above-average duo.
yeah, I do agree. But what we saw when the last time like these two teams played, Bill Belichick plans well for young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
you go in with Zach Wilson. I'm sorry, Henry. I think
You're taking -3?
I'm probably taking -3. Yeah.
Belichick yesterday had a press conference where he waxed poetic about Zach Wilson for like 5 minutes, like heaped praise on him. And I was like, I know what you're he always does this. And it's like, Belichick, I know for a fact you don't think Zach Wilson is good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't last half a season with Zach Wilson as your quarterback. You'd retire. I think the Jets are better than the Patriots. I think we blew the last game. I think we lost by 5, and Zach Wilson completely blew that game in the second half. I think we're better, and I think we're going to beat him.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it's a huge game. The AFC East is crazy. I mean, Pats are 5-4, Jets 6-3, Bills 6-3, Dolphins 7-3. Dolphins on bye, so if Jets win, they can move to top of the division. If Patriots win, Jets move to last in the division. This is a big one.
I didn't even think about that when talking about the line there. I think this is a huge week for the Jets.
Oh yeah,
it's almost a must win. I think if we want to make the playoffs,
because then we split Patriots on head to head. We already have the Dolphins and Bills once.
Yeah,
and we beat them, so we wouldn't. Worst case, we'd be 500 versus the division on the year, which helps in such a tightly packed division. So, yeah.
No, I think because of the situation, I'm probably going to
fired up.
I'm switching that. I'm riding with you, Hank.
Let's go. And screw it, over 38.
Yeah, I like that. It's cold weather.
That's such a low over-under.
Boston doesn't get that cold.
Yeah. Okay, Rams, Saints. Good luck.
Yeah.
Saints -4 at home. So, Vegas is like the Rams stink. We're done giving them 3-point spreads on the road.
With Cooper Kupp on IR, though, that's a hit.
Yeah, and Allen Robinson sucks. This isn't going to be a case of Kupp's out, so Robinson looks good. Allen Robinson can't get open, so...
Yeah.
Rams aren't scoring more than 17 points. We'll see if Stafford plays.
Yeah.
Just move this over under to like 44. It's 39 to start, and you go under. There is no way it loses.
Yeah, with Andy Dalton in there, again, I think you're right there. If anything, I probably take the Rams money line or spread, but even then, I'm not super confident in that.
I mean, I just don't trust the Saints to lose or win any games, and
same for the Rams.
The Rams are terrible.
Yeah.
Lions at Giants. Giants -3. I swear every Giants line is 3 in either direction.
Yeah. No. I think you're 100% right there.
All their lines are always like they're favored by 3 at home and they're underdogs by 3 on the road.
For the Lions, who haven't won back-to-back games since week 6 and week 7 in 2020, did it last 2 weeks. I don't think they win 3 in a row here, especially in New York, where they struggled on the road as well. So I'm probably going Giants here.
Yeah, this is my lock of the week, not on the spread, but under 45.5.
Yeah, I like that. It's just because I think the Lions traded away most of their weapons. They traded away T.J. Hawkinson. They traded away. They're missing DJ Chark, and they're missing another receiver, Josh Reynolds. Was it? I think it is. And even then, they're still not running the ball with Swift and Williams, and Swift's not happy. He's been kind of vocal about it. So I think the Lions are in a bit of a mess right now. So
totally. And also, if anybody wants to sponsor like a future lock of the week segment, I'm like 1 for 8 on these, so it would essentially be free money to your service.
PracticeSquadTO@gmail.com. Send us an email.
We're available. Giants -3 I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's not taking that, to be honest. Raiders at Denver. This is we need another sponsor for this. The stay away of the week.
Yeah, I think so. Both these teams are so
maybe like a
unpredictable.
camping company, like a tent company. Stay away of the week.
No, but God, both these teams are just underperforming, poorly coached, and I don't want anything to do with it.
No, maybe just like under 41.
Yeah,
I just don't want to have anything relying on this game to be entertaining, fun, interesting.
I want it to suck.
Yeah, I'm cheering for the Raiders. I'm so in on Russ losing.
Yeah, and actually,
I'm a part of the mob.
I think Nathaniel Hackett had some comments this week as well about finally admitting that the offense is letting the defense down, just in terms of not being able to put up points. So. Maybe they've reinvented the wheel, but even then, I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, you look at who's running the ball for them, and it's like Melvin Gordon, Latavius Murray, Chase Edmonds. It's like the most like mediocre island of toys.
I mean, Chase Evans is not Chase Edmonds. Melvin Gordon's only getting like 2 yards a yard to carry.
Yeah, he's got no acceleration, and Russ can't scramble anymore.
No,
and he also used to throw these like 50-yard go routes, and he'd throw them so high that the receiver would always have a chance. They'd never get picked off because the receiver could high point it. He just doesn't throw them.
Yeah, that or they're not scheming
and
it.
He's never been a guy who's awesome at throwing over the middle of the field. So I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah,
just rip it. You're 3-6. Like throw. He hasn't had like any like 5 interception games. I'd prefer to just every Russ stat line is like 1 touchdown, 1 pick. It's like just rip it. Throw 5 picks. Just go for it.
Like 150 yards, but no, you're 100% right. You remember in the last years there with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. There were some big throws there.
Cortland Sutton's a big guy.
Yeah, and he's fast.
KJ Hamler's really fast. Jerry Jeudy, he's hurt, but he's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just infuriating at this point. I wanted this team to be
Greg Dulcich, pretty good.
I wanted this team to be really good, but here we are.
Cowboys, Vikings, -2 for Dallas in Minnesota.
I think I'm in on the Vikings now.
I think I'm taking Dallas only because Dallas, I think, might be better, but they're coming off a bad loss, and Vikings are coming off a great win. And I can kind of basically get them in a pick of -120 money line.
Yeah, and I think if Zeke comes back as well, I don't think it's really going to help Dallas that much. But because Tony Pollard's just been incredible. But no, I am kind of flipping my vote on the Vikings right now because they've had a good year and they beat the Bills last week. I think they continue that against the Cowboys this week. As I take them +2.
No money line for you, eh?
Probably money line too. I'll hit the money line. I didn't want to say it, but I'll do it.
+2.
+3 probably.
Look,
too.
and as much credit as I give to the Vikings for that win over the Bills, they still needed like the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life. Basically, David Tyree remixed with the Odell coach catch.
Yeah.
And they also needed Josh Allen to fumble in his own end zone.
Yeah.
And then throw a red zone pick. And look, they had some stuff go their way.
The Bills are a better team than the Cowboys, though.
Yeah. They are.
They managed to keep that game close.
They are. I just if Vikings win this week, I'm sold. If they can do it
Okay.
two straight good wins back to back, I'll be really impressed.
All right.
Oh,
The Bengals and the Steelers. The Steelers are coming off a win. I don't know what to think with the Bengals right now.
yeah. Steelers will always play teams tight at home, which is why the spread is 4.
And I think Cincinnati as well, with a bit of rivalry there as well.
Yeah, and I feel like Cincy hasn't been that good on the road this year. They've
No.
had some big showings at home, but I'm thinking about that Browns game recently. They just had a bye, so I'm not sure if Chase is confirmed out this week, but it looks unlikely.
I just looked that up. It's not looking good for this week.
Okay.
But they have a target date set. It's probably not going to be this week.
But look, you got the Bengals money line -200. The Bengals at some point need to start putting together some wins.
Yeah, no, they have to. I think they're a playoff team again, and this is a good week to kind of get that started. With T.J. Watt back in the lineup for Pittsburgh, he had a big game, and Cincinnati's O-line is still a little suspect.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's just kind of tough because I believe in the coaching so much. But
Yeah.
the running game's terrible. The QB play's erratic.
And Najee Harris has not been good.
No, and apparently Jalen Warren's going to get a lot more. Like, it's going to be more of like a 60-40 split going forward.
I like that for them.
Yeah, I just picked him up in fantasy. Chiefs-Chargers Sunday night. I actually have a quick rant about this.
All right.
We had a Chiefs-Chargers primetime game already this season. The Chargers played primetime on Sunday night this week. They've had a lot of primetime games because in theory they have a fun team. Their games aren't entertaining to watch at all. They haven't played an entertaining game since Justin Herbert's ribs got hurt against the Chiefs. I'm sorry. Jets-Patriots should have gone the flex.
I think so, but I don't think. I think week 11 is the flex starts though.
This is week 11.
Holy shit!
They flexed
God,
out. They flexed out. I believe Rams Saints was the
Right,
that
yeah.
was supposed to be the game. They moved Chiefs Chargers in. It should be Jets Patriots. It just should.
It's week 11.
Yeah, I know. We're really in the dog days now. But yeah, this is silly.
Yeah, no,
I hate the Chargers. Suck to watch.
No, they do.
They have no fun skill players really, other than Eckler.
I mean, you bring in Khalil Mack, who's, in my opinion, one of the better defensive players to watch, a really fun player to watch. He hasn't been able to do much. That defense was praised all offseason. They've looked terrible. Keenan Allen's been in and out. Mike Williams hasn't been good. No, and you're right. Just Justin Herbert's not his normal self right now.
Yeah, and I think his ribs are probably pretty bad, but
Yeah.
I'm just annoyed this got flexed. But as for the spread, Chiefs -6.5 in LA. Chargers don't have a home field advantage really, so this is almost like it'll probably be 50% Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
So I don't really like 6.5 though. These divisional games are always kind of tight. I would actually stay away from everything here. The over-under's 50. I don't have a lot of faith in that. I'd probably look for some Kadarius Toney props.
Yeah.
Because he's, I believe, Juju's going to be out this week because he got absolutely annihilated on a hit. So yeah, I'd look at some Toney props, but I don't really like anything here. Like
Yeah.
-260 Chiefs money line, sure.
Yeah, and I see this game going one of two ways. It's either right down the wire or absolute blowout. It's not going to be and not be close at all. So I think you do with that what you will, but yeah, it's probably a stay away from me.
And another silly game to have in a primetime spot to end the week. Niners Cards. Oh, this is in Mexico City.
Okay, good atmosphere at least.
Yeah. It could be really cool. I think that Rams Chiefs game from all those years ago, a Mexico City game. The 80-point game.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Okay.
I think the Rams did play in Mexico City. I don't think it was that game though.
Anyway, Niners favored by 7 in Mexico. What do we say? What's Kyler saying?
Well, Warzone comes out today, so
day to day, so he'll probably play.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. But if you're a believer in the Call of Duty thing, today's a pretty big day for Call of Duty fans. So, but then again,
I'd probably take him +7. I think it's a little too big a line.
Yeah, but then again, that's probably the line I'll take. But my only concern with that is just this 49ers defense and just the ability to run the ball the way they do.
Yeah, they just don't score that many points.
No, because they don't throw the ball. You don't need to when you have that backfield.
Yeah. Go Cards +7. Do you want to say your favorite spread bet of the week?
Yeah, it's it's probably the Titans.
Titans +3.
Yeah, especially that underdog. I truthfully wholly think that they will beat the Packers on Sunday.
True.
Or Thursday.
Okay. Well, not a bad slate of games, to be honest. A couple to look forward to, but that's our look ahead to Week 11.
As always, thank you for watching. I think it's episode 14, 13.
I'm all messed up because of last week.
Yeah, I didn't even check. That's my bad.
I think 14.
Okay. We'll go with that. Thank you for watching episode 14 of the Practice Squad. As always, I want to give a shout out to the locker room at the Bottom Line, and the Bottom Line in downtown Toronto, 22 Front Street. Come by and check it out. Our good friends at Miller Lite, the official beer of the NFL in the U.S. Henry, anything special this weekend for Sunday?
No, nothing special. I should say we're going to have somebody joining next week for the first time, which I'm pretty excited for. We're bringing in a guy named Evan to help out with the show. So there'll be a new voice coming in every now and then next week probably. So
new voice, and check out social media too. Evan's going to be doing a lot of work over there. We're excited to bring him on. It's going to help us and maybe kick our ass to do a little more as well. But regardless, we will see you next week, Thursday morning, as always. Leave it there.